Now at 5, what a federal business loan program could mean for Southwest Missouri. Plus, the challenge for local firefighters during today's red flag warning, and
the House committee investigating the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol is summoning former President Donald Trump. I'm Skyler Henry on Capitol Hill, recapping the committee's latest meeting and findings from its probe.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The state of Missouri is set to receive nearly $100 million in federal funding for small businesses. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. That funding is going to be used to operate a venture capital program called Idea Fund. It'll be managed by the Missouri Technology Corps. The money comes from the state Small Business Credit Initiative.
People that I know and businesses and ideas from people that I know that they are looking for funds and capital to be able to sort of jumpstart their idea, which is huge. Entrepreneurs are the backbone and the heart of our sort of business ecosystem, as we call it.
We're going to hear from a local small business owner on how this can impact them tonight at 6. Let's check in with Sam Lane for a first look at the weather.
Thanks very much, Dow. It's been a beautiful day. However, a little bit on the windy side, and that has prompted a red flag warning and a fire weather warning to be issued for our entire area. This goes until 8 o'clock tonight, but it will likely be reissued tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. No rain right now on radar, and that's been part of the problem because we've been in a drought for so long. In fact, we're in exceptional drought now for a large part of southwest Missouri, southeast Kansas, and northeastern Oklahoma, surrounded by extreme drought. So needless to say, it has been an ongoing problem, and the winds are not helping. As you can see, winds gusting up close to 20 miles per hour this afternoon. So please be careful with any outdoor flames. And of course, I'll be back in a minute to tell you the forecast and whether we're going to see any changes in just a little bit.
All right, we'll see you then. That red flag warning, it means very low humidity, stronger winds are expected to combine to produce an increased risk of fire danger. A local fire chief urges the entire community to be cautious.
Smoking discarded cigarettes out the window of a moving vehicle, or even discarded it near your front porch into the grass could start a grass fire pretty quickly. And then burning trash in barrels, burning brush piles, burning leaf piles, anything like that could become out of control due to the elevated winds.
The fire chief says people should be quick to call the fire department when there is any sign of a fire. A vintage Carthage fire truck now has a new owner, could make an appearance at the Maple Leaf Festival Parade this weekend. The 1939 City Service ladder truck was the first new truck Carthage ever bought. The new owner, Steve Burnett, has been working on the truck for almost 2 months now. Back in the day, the truck could do 4 different things once it got to a fire scene. It has a pump, water tank, and ground and aerial ladders on it. One of the reasons why this truck was so valuable for the department. Burnett says that one of the interesting things about this project is how many local craftsmen have been helping to restore the truck. Having the fire truck at the parade has a great meaning for the city.
The actual Grand Marshal for the Maple Leaf Parade is our former fire chief that just left last December. So it would be really cool, really special if we get that old truck up and running that he has been down at the old station many years ago.
Again, you can see the truck in the Maple Leaf Parade. That's going to be on Saturday morning. People are already reserving viewing spots along the parade route. Some were placing railroad ties or other barriers and easements, which they intend to watch the parade. The police department says that is perfectly legal. The Carthage Maple Leaf Parade is the largest parade in southwest Missouri. Begins at 9 Saturday morning. The route begins in the historic Courthouse Square and ends at the junior high school. The final scheduled public hearing of the House Select Committee investigating the January 6th attack on our U.S. Capitol once again captured the attention of Washington. And it ended with a surprising development. Skyler Henry reports on the day's events from Capitol Hill.
There are 9 ayes and 0 noes.
At its final scheduled public hearing, the House January 6th committee voted and unanimously approved a subpoena summoning former President Donald Trump to appear before the panel.
It is our obligation to seek Donald Trump's testimony.
Earlier, the committee introduced new information from the Secret Service about what happened the day of the insurrection.
Some members of the crowd are wearing ballistic helmets, body armor, carrying radio equipment, and military-grade backpacks.
Secret Service communication also detailed prior knowledge about the possibility of violence leading up to January 6th. Each committee member spoke, summarizing their overall allegations that former President Trump was at the center of the attempt to overturn the 2020 election results.
In a staggering betrayal of his oath, Donald Trump attempted a plan that led to an attack on a pillar of our democracy. It's still hard to believe.
The committee will produce a final report on its findings sometime after the midterm elections. Members have been meeting for more than a year. The hearing also focused on the former president's state of mind.
Claims that President Trump actually thought the election was stolen are not supported by fact and are not a defense.
They need massive personnel now.
There is also new video presented of members of Congress calling for help at the height of the attack.
They're breaking the law in many different ways.
Skyler Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
The last hearing was held in July. No witnesses spoke today. A jury in Florida reaches a decision in the death penalty trial of the Parkland shooter. The panel is recommending the gunman not be executed for the 2018 high school massacre that killed 17 people. Instead, they want Nicholas Cruz to spend life in prison for killing the people at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School on Valentine's Day in 2018. The jury's decision needed to be unanimous in order to recommend the death penalty. 2 Los Angeles City Council members are resisting overwhelming calls for them to resign after a recording surfaced of them making crude and racist remarks in a secret meeting over redistricting tactics. Gil Cedillo and Kevin De Leon have not issued any statements, although Nuri Martinez, who also attended last year's meeting, resigned yesterday. Fellow Democrats, including President Joe Biden, have called on all 3 council members to resign. Still ahead, a survey finds many people don't know the symptoms of one specific health threat to women.
A new national survey is increasing awareness about a certain form of breast cancer. I'm Wendy Gillette with the symptoms women should look for.
And later, our nation's newly released inflation reports. Topping today's Health Watch, the CDC has expanded the use of bivalent COVID-19 booster shots for younger children. This comes after the FDA authorized use for Moderna boosters for children as young as 6, and for the Pfizer boosters, kids as young as 5. The boosters combine a component from the original vaccine with components that target the Omicron subvariants. Paxlovid is prescribed to treat COVID-19 symptoms, but there's concern the medication can negatively interact with some commonly used cardiovascular drugs. A review paper in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology says Paxlovid can have significant interactions with certain statins, as well as medications used to treat abnormal heart rhythms. During this Breast Cancer Awareness Month, a new survey finds most women are not aware of the signs of a rare aggressive type of the disease. Reporter Wendy Gillette has more.
A new national survey is increasing awareness about inflammatory breast cancer. While inflammatory breast cancer accounts for only 1 to 5% of all breast cancers in the U.S., unlike other types, it starts with certain skin conditions and not with a lump. It may also not show up on a mammogram, making it challenging to diagnose. Now, a new survey from the Ohio State University Comprehensive Cancer Center shows most women are unaware of the unusual symptoms. The survey of 1,100 women finds 78% know a lump in the breast is a sign of breast cancer, but less than half would say redness, pitting, and thickening of the breast are possible symptoms, as is one breast feeling warmer or heavier than the other. Researchers say it's critical to look for these changes and talk to a doctor if a woman notices a difference. That's because some 50% of inflammatory breast cancers are diagnosed as stage 4 disease. Inflammatory breast cancers tend to occur in younger women. Black women appear to develop these cancers more often than white women, according to the American Cancer Society. Experts say a more sensitive exam like a breast MRI can help with diagnosis. Wendy Gillette, CBS News, New York.
Inflammatory breast cancer is more common among women who are overweight or obese. A Mediterranean diet filled with large amounts of fruits and vegetables does not appear to reduce a person's risk of developing dementia. The study in the journal Neurology looked at more than 28,000 participants over a 20-year period and could not find a link. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, we're going to break down the increase in Social Security benefits.
And we had a beautiful day across the area. I'll be back in a minute to tell you how long the nice weather is going to last when we return. Well, we have had a beautiful day across the area with light wind, well, not light winds, but bright sunshine and low humidities. A beautiful day. A little bit on the windy side, as we can see on our tower cam right now in Seneca, Missouri. Pretty nice day shaping up down there too. And here in Joplin, we just have just a few cumulus clouds. This morning, we were quite chilly across the area. Some areas getting down into the 30s. Look at Pryor, 34, 43 in Miami, 45 in Fort Scott, 42 over in Monette. But this afternoon, temperatures warmed up pretty nice, generally in the upper 60s to around 70 degrees across the area, 73 in the Ville, 71 in Chanute, 68 up in Fort Scott. And those warm temperatures have continued through this afternoon. And right now we're looking at the almanac. 72 is what we made it up to, which was normal, believe it or not. 45 was the low and 49 is normal. So we were slightly below normal for the whole day. The records are 88 and 35 back in 1977. For the month, today was normal on the high temperatures as far as that goes. 10 above normal days and only 2 so far below normal on our high temperatures. We've been in this drought for such a long time, we're now really becoming concerned about the fire danger, and so we are under fire weather warning right now until 8 o'clock tonight, mainly because of the low humidities, the drought conditions, and those northwesterly winds. And you can see right now on our wind tracker, we've seen wind gusts up to around 20 miles per hour, and we're expecting that to continue. These winds will start to die down a little bit as we go through the evening hours, but still, at this hour, we're still seeing winds generally in the 20-mile-an-hour range. Temperatures, nice, generally upper 60s to right around 70 degrees right now, 69 in Fort Scott, 68 in Iola, but the dew points are very low. So when you combine warm temperatures, low dew points, low humidity, strong winds, and a drought, you add all that up and you end up with fire weather, and that's what we've been seeing, generally dew points in the 20s. Right now in Joplin, we're sitting at 70. Check out these winds, west-northwest at 23, gusting a little bit higher than that. Dew point is 27. Look at the humidity. 20%, that's bone dry, folks, and the pressure is currently falling. One good thing is that we've not really had to deal with the ragweed here lately. 3.6 on the scale for tomorrow, so at least the allergies are good. Right now, let's take a look at the future track. We can see lows tonight are going to generally be in the 40s with those southerly winds continuing. They're going to be a little bit lighter, but tomorrow we're going to see a return to gusty winds out of the west-southwest with highs in the 70s and some 80s out towards the west. So again, fire danger likely tomorrow. And then we're going to have a front drop through on Saturday, and we're going to see lows by Saturday morning, generally in the 40s up to the north, 50s down to the south. And then Saturday afternoon, we could see some scattered showers and storms, mainly down for our friends and folks down in northwestern Arkansas, with some scattered showers possible down there. Most of this is going to stay well to the south, not really impacting anyone else. Generally by Sunday morning, the lows are going to be in the 50s across the area with northerly winds. Over the next 7 days, we're going to see 78 tomorrow, windy conditions. Watch out for the fire danger again. Saturday and Sunday, the best chance of showers are going to be down to the south in northwest Arkansas. Then as we go into Monday and Tuesday, much cooler. Look at those lows, Dow. Below freezing for the first time this fall, with lows around 30 to 31 on Monday morning and Tuesday morning. So
wow, real frost possibility then.
Definitely
next week.
Frost and definitely football weather too.
That's true. We need the rain.
Yeah.
It's nice to have the cool temps. Thanks, Nate. Coming up, details about an upcoming boost on Social Security benefits. First, though, we take a moment to recognize a local veteran of the U.S. Army. Kyle Dement joined in 2004, served in Afghanistan and in Iraq. And his hometown, Lamar, Missouri. We are proud to salute Army Specialist Kyle Dement, a four-state hero. Of course, you can learn about lots of other heroes from all across this area. You can also submit a hero of your own anytime, and we encourage you to do so. It's very simple. You just go to our website, click on the link, KOAMnewsnow.com. Topping today's Consumer Watch, price hikes slowed down slightly in August, but a new report shows inflation is accelerating again. Gas prices dropped during the summer, but recently started climbing. Americans are also dealing with higher costs for just about everything else. A new report from the Bureau of Labor Statistics finds overall prices jumped 8.2% in September compared to a year ago. The new report will likely bring new action from the Federal Reserve, with another interest rate hike expected next month. Social Security recipients are getting more money to help cope with soaring consumer prices. Roughly 70 million retirees, disabled people, and other recipients will see a boost in their benefits next year. It's the largest annual increase in 40 years. Elise Preston reports.
For nearly 20 years, 84-year-old Margot Hopkins has been collecting Social Security.
We get little increases, from time to time.
Beginning in January, Hopkins and millions of other seniors will see an 8.7% hike in benefits, the largest cost of living adjustment since 1981. That's about an extra $140 a month on average.
At least it'll help, with just your ordinary groceries and living expenses.
CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
We know that about 40% of retired people rely on Social Security as their sole form of their income. If you imagine that that's your only form of income, keeping pace with inflation is incredibly important.
Seniors are not only getting the Social Security boost, many will also see Medicare costs drop next year, putting more money in their pockets. For 73-year-old Cynthia Darby, every cent counts, but
it's never enough. You're not giving us anything, you're giving us what we already earned.
The White House hopes the increase will allow seniors and other Americans to get ahead of inflation, giving them a little extra breathing room. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
Time is winding down for Americans to get their stimulus checks issued during the height of the pandemic. A new Government Accountability Office report says up to 10 million Americans may not have claimed their money, many of them very low income or Social Security recipients who are not required to pay federal taxes. Those who may have missed out on payments have until November 15th to file a simplified tax return in order to claim their stimulus money. Your next Frappuccino purchase could also earn you some free flight miles. Delta Airlines and Starbucks have announced a new partnership for their loyalty program customers. Delta Sky Miles members can earn 1 mile per dollar they spend at Starbucks if they link their loyalty accounts for both companies. Starbucks members can also earn double stars on purchases made the same day as their scheduled Delta flight. And Disney World and Disneyland have raised ticket prices by up to 9%. Parking prices have also increased. Visitors looking to avoid the price hike can opt to visit on the least crowded days of the year. That's when the park offers a new one-day pass for $104. A final check of the forecast next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, more on today's new revelations about the January 6th committee coming from that committee. Then on KOAM News at 6. Authorities bust a big marijuana growing operation in northeastern Oklahoma and make multiple arrests. Plus a ruling in a lawsuit concerning Missouri's voter ID law and how a Pitt State running back is taking advantage of an expanded role this season. Stay with us. CBS Evening News, KOAM News at 6. Look at this. A 35-year-old Italian musician had a brain tumor removed while playing the saxophone in a Rome clinic. The operation was led by a brain surgeon who is an expert in wake surgery, as they call it. The surgery lasted 9 hours. The musician played the sax throughout that entire time. The surgeon says the operation was made even more complex because of the location of the tumor and the fact that the musician is left-handed. Surgery was Monday. The patient was discharged this morning. Helps them to monitor any neurological effects during the operation.
My brother plays the sax, but I don't think he would go for the surgery.
No, if you could skip that part, it's much better. I'm sure.
All
the
right,
weather.
Let's take a look at the forecast. It's going to be a great day tomorrow on the windy side, so it's an alert day. Be watchful of those fires out there. Maybe some showers Saturday into Sunday, but it's mainly going to be down to the south. Colder next week.
Very good. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here at 6. Let's make it a great evening.